Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Good evening. Woo, mama. Oh, mama. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Oh, good evening, everybody. Hello. Good evening, Gemma. Are you monitoring the feed?
No.
You monitor the feed, so I don't have to. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Show number 15, baby. 15, 1-5. We were out there and someone's hammering. I don't know what's happening. It sounds like someone's genuinely.
No, it's Summer Night DIY.
It's Summer Night DIY. There's some proper thumping going on there. But welcome to the. You can probably hear it if I pause. It's incredible. I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. This is what must have happened when someone.
This
is live TV, baby. I can't go and shut him up and say, listen, we have a regular feature on a Thursday night. There is 82 people relying on me. Some of them are in Hull. There you go, Jem. Let's get a bed of music going, my darling.
Sure,
so we're here. It's Thursday night. It's red hot. It's 15 shows, and Gemma still hasn't learnt the theme tune. Every time we do a rehearsal, I said, do you want to come and do one? Yeah, it's all right. I've got it. It's there. It's just there like gold dust. No, it ain't, mate. So welcome to the show. Good evening, self-isolators. Good evening, homeschoolers. Good evening, back to workers. That's what we're coming up against now. We've got the back to workers. So welcome to the show. It's so warm in here. It's genuinely so warm. And we're going to be introducing later. Gemma has a clarinet, everyone.
Yes.
So I'm appealing now. Stop the music a second. This is appeal to Boris Johnson himself. My wife has bought a clarinet. So please, for the love of God, for no health reasons whatsoever,
Look,
end lockdown.
it's fine. I played the clarinet last time I was 14.
14, yeah. Do you know what the clarinet seems to be? A lot of reed adjustment, very little music. Let's keep the bed going.
Lots of reed licking.
Reed licking. Let's not carry on with that. But she's very good. It sounds like a school recital.
Yes.
I mean, like a private school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the level we're going for. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do the song. Let's do it, Gemma. It's 15 on a Thursday night, and I grab my drink and I feel alright. Ain't got nowhere else to go. I'm going to the shed show. Shed show. Shed show. Shed show, let's go!
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 106 people, Gemma.
What?
Take that off there because there's a bit of vibration.
I'm so
It
sorry.
sounds like someone blowing
I'm
a
so
reed
sorry
or something.
about
How
that.
very method.
Where's my water?
Where's your water? Your water's
It's
down there,
down
darling.
there.
We've got water.
Okay, see
We've got
everybody.
water. See everyone. We've got
Is it
water.
cooler down below?
Is it cooler down
rises?
there? I think
We're better
maybe.
off down
Maybe.
here.
Well, I'll do the show from the floor, shall I? I'm sure they'd love to see that and not see my face.
cooler?
Is it cooler? Well,
Cooler
we'll
down
do it out
there.
here. We'll do it out here. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome. If you've not seen the show, where have you been?
Oh.
Week 15. This is like
Where
a
you
cult
been?
institution
Week
now.
15.
Shedstonians, Shedettes, Shedshaudians.
Oh, shed
Bennett and the Coopernaws, or Bennettonians, whatever you call yourself,
Oh,
future
awesome.
disciples, cult
Awesome.
members. Lovely to see you all again. It is 123 people, and it's a lovely night. And do you know what? You could be at a barbecue right now, and if you I won't blame you. I won't blame you. If it's, go and do one. Go and do one if you want. We're here in this shed
In the
Thursday
shed.
night. We've been doing this now for 15 weeks, and me and Gemma weren't even married when we started. That is how long. So if you want to have a shout out, Gemma's monitoring the feed because it makes me anxious. So Gemma's
Can I
monitoring
just
the
check?
feed.
I'm worried that if I click on here, the feed's going to filter over the speaker.
Well, it probably will. Can you not just look at the?
I can't see the comments if I just look at it from where I'm.
Oh,
looking at
Gemma,
it.
just come on. Well, just do it and then pause it or something.
Okay.
But welcome to the show. You're gonna have to.
Welcome to the show.
It's show number 15.
Oh.
And are we all right, Gemma? Are you watching the feed?
I'm watching the feed. I just can't see. I can't see the comments.
Well, get on to the comments then,
All
love.
right, my love.
Hmm.
Right, here
All
we
right.
go.
Here we go
Is it
then.
coming over the speaker?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Oh,
right.
You see, I told you. So I
Right.
have to turn off the Bluetooth.
No, just turn the volume off. Turn the volume off. Don't turn the Bluetooth off. Turn the volume. We did all this in rehearsal, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. 15 a week. They don't expect a level of professionalism. Keep it running through the speakers, love. Then it won't switch off. That's what we've said.
A few people listening, thanks to Chris Ramsey.
Oh,
Hello,
thank you. Good
welcome.
evening. Thank you, Chris Ramsey.
Yeah,
and Rosie, of course. Yes, though. Thank you. Yes, that's wonderful. We had a shout out, didn't we? Well, we're here. We're in the shed. So I'm glad I explained the concept. Gemma sits on the floor. We've ordered her a stool next week. She's actually going to be seen next week. It took 15 weeks for me to order a stool. And I mean, to be fair, she was happy down there, but I think she deserves to be a part of the show. She's a main player in the show, so she's going to be visible from next week. And I'm just going to say, the heat now in here. I'm lunging. What's happening?
Oh, God.
I'm lunging, Gemma.
You're squeaking.
I'm squeaking. I'm lunging. My inner thighs and testicles have fallen in love again.
Oh,
and it's not even a shed in here. It's a sauna. Honestly.
Yeah, can we rename it?
It's a proper sauna. I am sweating like a kid at soft play, man. It's running off me. Do you know what? Before we came in here, genuinely, I had to flannel under my moobs. I had to flannel my moobs in the bathroom. Gemma, you're laughing. It was like leathering off a classic car. I had to just kind of go like that. Oh God! And do you know what? We had a bit of a quarantine quarrel earlier on because Gemma gets annoyed with me because the amount of ice I put in my drinks.
It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. If you go to anywhere like Five Guys or whatever,
Yeah, we're not Five Guys.
Yes, but you get a lot of ice. It's free water. We're not on a meter. I said to her, just keep the ice coming. No, it's just ridiculous.
Can I just say then,
What?
who fills up the tray? Who fills up the tray?
Yeah, granted, I don't fill up the tray, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have all the ice. There is a problem there. There's an ice supply issue. I'm like Kristoff in Frozen, but I don't sell it. I just steal it. But anyway, welcome. Do you know what? We are in a heat wave, and I looked into this, Gemma. Do you know the reason why we can't deal with this?
Go on.
Metabolically, our bodies aren't good at this, right?
Right,
Because like if
okay.
you live in a hot country,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
your body fat's reduced, you get climatized to it, Gemma, because you don't need it. The problem is, this is why we're struggling here.
I'm probably going to come out of here stone light.
No, the reason why we're struggling here, Gemma, is that we're walking around with more insulation than a thermos flask. We might as well have loft insulation strapped to our butt cheeks, man.
God.
And like, I read somewhere, right, everyone says, well, I've got lots of tips for staying cool. I've got lots of tips. And they all turn out to be bollocks, don't they? And they all go, right, someone said to me, why don't you take a hot shower? What? Yeah, because when you take a hot shower, the blood runs to your organs and then it cools your skin down. No, I don't believe that. Because listen, if that was the case then, mate, there'd be people wandering around the Middle East wearing Aran sweaters, wouldn't they? It's 50 degrees, Sheikh. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere without your cardigan. Come on. And it's just ridiculous. We can't cope with the heat, right? We are 2 degrees away from people queuing in the freezer section of the supermarket, Gemma, to dangle their butt cheeks over the Aunt Bessie's. That is where we are right now, right? And I had a terrible night's sleep last night, right?
Yes,
It was
I can
awful.
vouch for that.
And you can't, people say put a fan in the bed. No, I don't want a fan in the bedroom because now I'm hot and it's noisy. All I've done is just, and do you know the other thing, Gemma, is what my fan, I think our fan, because we've got an oscillating one, I think he's trying to break me. Because I sort of like, I'll ask him, I'll go, are you going to let me sleep tonight, Gemma? And he does this. No, sir. No, sir. You no get sleep tonight, my friend. I'm going to keep shaking my head. And then all of it, do you know what it does, Gem? I'm just about to nod off. Do you know what it does?
Yeah.
It gets stuck on a setting, doesn't it? And he just goes, just waking you back up there, boss. I'm just dropping off. So that's what it is. And do you know what? I'm currently whacked off my tits on hay fever meds. I've either got two choices. I either sneeze or sleep. That's the two settings. I am walking a fine line, man. Yeah. I am, because according to the packet, Gem, you're not, when you're on them, you're not allowed to operate heavy machinery. Well, that's a problem for me. What if I need a piss? I knew she'd like that one.
I'm so disappointed.
I know. Well, the thing is, she knows. It's not a hammer drill.
I've not heard that before.
It's not a hammer drill. It's more like a Dremel. But it's funny. They're always on the back of the packet. They say that, don't they, Jem?
Yeah.
They always say you don't operate heavy machinery. I mean, the manufacturing age has gone in Britain. Do you know what I mean? There's no one going to work saying, I'm sorry, boss. Gemma, I'm sorry, boss, I can't operate the loom. I've had a Piriton. It's nonsense, isn't it? The other thing is, Gem, someone always says, I'll tell you what, someone always says, well, let's get the paddling pole out. No, That is an investment in a waste of time that's pointless, man. Because the problem with a paddling pool, right, is you spend about 4 hours filling it up back and forth with hot water from the house.
Yeah.
It's perfect. The kids walk along, put the toe in, right, that's it, done. And you've effectively, that's the whole day. What you've done really, Gemma, is make a massive wet graveyard for insects. And it just stays there for weeks, man.
Yeah.
But I have noticed 112 people have joined us, Gemma.
114.
140. Oh, wow, it's going up all the time. Good evening, everybody. Hope you well. I have noticed it's very busy out there today.
Yes.
Very busy. People are out and about, right? I've seen the lads, Gem. You seen the lads wandering around with the tops off, obviously, like they're on some sort of stag do in Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? But I think if you've got a good body, Gemma, go for it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If you look like a 14-year-old on a paper round with the chest of a carrier pigeon, get a top back on, knobhead. All right, that's my advice. But I don't like getting my shorts on, Gem.
Why?
Because I don't like my pasty legs coming out. Because as soon as I pull my shorts on, I can hear them going, "Are we doing this? Are we really doing this, Scott? Do you want to check this? Because honestly, mate, it looks like we're taking 2 frozen sausage rolls out for a walk." These are not good luck, mate. And every car that passes is blasting out music now.
Yes.
It's ooch, 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 ooch. It's like people are driving Bluetooth speakers on wheels, man. I can't do that, man. I was going to go out in mine and crank up the best of CBeebies. Do you know what I mean? And I listen to the Archers Omnibus. Gemma knows this. Imagine me just pulling up at the lights, Gemma, next to a Sixon saxo. No, not only that, just dialogue, not music. So someone just oots, oots, and I wind down the window. Come on, Tom, we got to sort out the drainage in the lower field. Good morning, mate. Catch up with me. Just like that. Follow the roof box.
Oh, I'm gonna have to stop laughing. It's making me
No,
hot.
don't, because they believe you find me funny. Them British love talking about the weather, man, don't we?
Oh, we love it.
Do you know what? Everyone, if you're at work now, do you know what people be saying today?
Oh,
Could you sleep last night? I couldn't sleep last night. No, Gemma, I couldn't sleep last night. Could you sleep last night? I couldn't sleep last night. Could you sleep last night? I can't sleep. I had 6 windows open. Could you sleep? Could you sleep? I had 18 flannels on my head. Could you sleep? Did you? Kevin was wafting my butt cheeks with a Kindle. Could you sleep last night? I couldn't sleep last night. And you get this stupid expression, Gemma. Oh, it's muggy, innit?
Yeah.
It's muggy. No, unless you've been mugged, that means nothing, mate. The other one is so close, innit? It's close. It's because it's weather. It's everywhere, mate. It's gonna be close, innit?
Yeah.
And the other,
Close it enough.
well, exactly. You don't get distant weather, do you? I mean, I just want to say as well, there is a bit of glimmer of hope because you should be on the wall of positivity. Our youngest daughter is back at playgroup. Hallelujah. 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 She only goes for 2 hours, but my God, that's 2 hours of bliss. I mean, we love that kid, but she went, do you know what? She went in. She loved it. Because, do you know what? I'm glad she's gone back, Gemma, because our fridge door was missing some shit artwork. And she made me a card for Father's Day, didn't she?
Yeah.
It was lovely. It said, "To my favourite daddy." I'm not even going to go into that. But you couldn't go in with them, Gem, could you? You had to leave them at the door.
Yeah.
And the teachers, the wonderful,
Proper
would take
system.
them in. There's a proper system. And I'm glad they're trying because I saw the news footage in China. Did you see it? Now, these kids that's going into school, so obedient, Gem. They came in and they had to go through stations, love. They were
Right.
swabbed. They had the temperature checked. Right, this.
Oh,
One of them
God.
bent down like that, Gem.
No!
No, not up the bum. What you think it is? That's Germany. They went like this, Gem, and like a cloud came up, and they were like disinfected with a cloud like that, yeah. And then they're
my
they
God.
turned around, they had their shoes cleaned. It was like cattle being fumigated, right? Good luck with our lot, Gem. Good luck with that shit show we send in. It'll take 6 months for them to hang their coats up. And another year to stop them licking each other at break time.
Oh, God.
There'll be one teacher, Gem, whose job it was 8 hours a day to disinfect scooters. That's what it's going to be. And I don't know if you noticed, there's been some latest government announcements, Gemma.
Oh, yeah.
We are relaxing lockdown, baby. Yes. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Track and Trace app has been an absolute disaster, right? So they spent millions of pounds, right? What happened was they couldn't get it to work, and they were developing this thing, the government, and Google and Apple were like, "Do you want us to help you, mate? Because we know how to do this shit. Do you want to?" And they were like, "No, we've got it, thank you. Are you sure you don't want us to help us?" Months and months later, we're stuck. We're stuck. Hand went up. We're stuck. It's too late then, isn't it? The arrogance of that is amazing. That is like trying to compete with Just Eat, Gemma, with a bag of jacket potatoes and a microwave. That's what that. And obviously they've gone from 2 meters to 1 meter, Gem.
Yeah.
So the message is you can put down the tape measure and you can go and get your meter ruler. That's the message there, right?
Yeah.
And what they're doing, right, is they're going to do temp checks in clothing shops.
Oh.
Now that's going to be a bit invasive, isn't it? And you've already mentioned it, Gemma. If you go to a clothing shop in Germany, how do they check the temperature? Rectally. I mean, that is a pair of jeans that's not worth sacrificing. Can I have those over there? You can in a minute. There you go. Sorry, I'm a bit stressed, that's why. Someone's just whacked a thermometer up my flute. That's why, mate. I'm just coming to buy a crop top. Leave me alone. Do you know what, Gemma? Can I just say as well? The libraries are open.
Yay!
Thank God. Those 2 buildings were desperate. And I just want to say, is everyone happy, Gemma, by the way?
Everybody's happy.
Right, the other thing is, right, Gemma, I just want to say something because it's been a worrying time, but the news we were all waiting for has finally landed, people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying comedy clubs are open, theatres aren't open, but do you know what is open, Gemma? Brace yourself. The model villages are open. The model villages. Thank Christ for that, Gem. The model villages. I mean, I thought that day would never come. At least the economy's safe now. That's one sector of society we have to click. Model villages are open. Do you know what? Someone should tell them because they haven't been open since '83. I mean, do you know what? I can see where they're allowed though, Gemma, because you walk around a model village, the residents there are so tiny. The virus will have no impact on the little lungs, will it? And nothing cheers me up more, Gemma, than pretending to be a giant and towering over a little church for an afternoon, does it you? And there's a model village in Hornsey, love, right?
Yeah.
They've recently updated it. What they've done is they've gone in, right, Gem, and all the little streets with the little pubs and the little cafes, do you know all them little streets, Gemma? Yeah. What they've done is they've bulldozed it all and put in a massive Tesco's. It's fantastic. And hairdressers are back, Gem. Can you imagine how busy they're going to be?
Oh,
it's going to be easier to get an appointment at the doctor's than have your hair cut.
Yeah, it will.
Even like people will be a revelation. People will be walking out going, "My God, I can see again. I can see again." Mate, I forgot I'd even got ears. You know what I mean? I've missed my forehead so much, man. And the grey-haired women will be coming out as brunettes. Yeah, it's not a hairdressers. It's a time machine, man. And do you know what? Most of the time though, these hairdressers, Gem, is going to be spent putting right the haircuts that people have done themselves in lockdown.
There have been some right sides.
So there's been some states, man. Like it's going to be like a plastic surgeon having to redo a bad boob job, and he's going to be coming in. He's going to go, look at the state of this, man. Who did this? Do you know? They're not even level. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Why have you got 3 nipples? Do you know what I mean? That's going to be the sort of level. And a bad lockdown haircut, right, Jenna? Do you know what a bad lockdown haircut is? It's a daily reminder of the exact point in lockdown you and your partner fell out. And do you know what they're going to do, Jen? The staff can cut your hair, but they're wearing visors, man. It's going to be like having your hair cut by a welder. We've got someone's written in on this, Jen.
Oh, yay!
Kevin Shepherd.
Yeah.
You'll like this one.
Go on.
He cuts his hair during lockdown with dog clippers.
What?
Right? He's done it himself. He's saved 120 quid a year, and he's never going back.
Wow.
He does look like a cocker spaniel. But I mean that's incredible because do you know the there's a place near us, Jem, called Snazzy Dogs.
Yes,
Snazzy Dogs, right? And they cut dogs' hair, and it's set up like a proper salon. So there's like you go past the window, there's dogs sat there. I'd love it if you could sit next to your owner and both of you have a haircut. So you're reading
Horse and Hound.
No, you're reading Take a Break, and the dog's reading Horse and Hound, and just with a little caper. Where are you going on your holidays? Kennels. Oh, yeah. Wait, we've got leaning back, just washing the dog's hair, Jem, over the sink, lifting up their ears. I'd love that shit, man. And bingo halls are open, Jem. Bingo halls are open, but comedy clubs are not, right? So what that means is you can do jokes, Jem, but you have to follow them with a number. So you'd be like, I was in the supermarket the other day, eyes down. And I saw this on its own, number 1. And have you ever seen the Blind 80? It'll just make no sense. The reasoning and the science behind it is due to the transference of the particles in the air. Someone can stand and call numbers, but no one is allowed to shout house. So these bingo games are going to go on for eternity. And they're talking about putting the bingo caller behind protective screens.
Right.
This is a good idea, and I'm not just talking about the virus. This should have been done years ago, because these old dears, man, they throw stuff when they don't win. Do you know, I've been Mecca Bingo, and it's been as violent as the football in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? And hooligans threw darts, but these old dears are throwing dabbers. If you don't believe me, you go and Gemma, you go along and call a line when you haven't won. Just see the shit. Tables are flipped. Orange cordials thrown. Honestly, they're just throwing like, don't they, Jem? Dabbers come raining down on you. It's like arrows on a battlefield, like Braveheart. Just leave me alone, Nana. I made a mistake. You should never make a mistake in here. You're not allowed to make a mistake. And they see them every night coming through the doors, don't you?
Yeah.
Charged up on Horlicks, riding mobility scooters like geriatric gangsters, and they're all addicts, Jem. They are. They're sitting, of course they are, because it goes without saying, Jem. They're addicts because they're sitting there in silence waiting for a line. That's what an addict does. So comedy, that's a problem, people, right? Because of the laughter from the audience. You know, they're not allowed laughter, Jem. So as long as I keep doing that one gig in Kent in December 2012, I'm going to be fine.
I remember that.
You remember that? I still can feel it, man.
Yes,
It was just staring at me, confused. And when audiences do that, the illusion of this doesn't work, by the way. Just becomes a man shouting into the ether. It becomes like this. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't in a shed then. I was in a proper club, right? And all gigs now are going to be set up like some of the worst Christmas gigs I've ever done, right? So you're going to have comedians on stage miles away, separated from the audience with a checkered dance floor, right? They're all on round tables, spaced miles apart, right? It's like an evening wedding reception, and no one thinks the couple's going to last. That's the sort of vibe, right? I'll be tethered to the stage, Jem, using the DJ's mic, like that, Jem. I'll have about a half a metre lead. Do you know what I'll look like? I'll look like a dog tied up outside the butcher's. They're just like, that'll be the thing, man. But bookers are getting more creative, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what gigs I've been booked for? Do you know what gigs I've been booked for?
Go on.
I've been booked to do a gig on top of a cherry picker.
What?
Yes. Now, a cherry picker is one of those things that goes up above the audience.
Yes.
And they said to me, you're going to be at 25 feet or something like that. And they said, are you scared of heights? And I said,
I was just going to say, did you tell them?
Yeah. And they said, it's 400 quid. I said, I'm not anymore. I'm not anymore. I'll get past it. And it'll be the comedy equivalent of when they dangled David Blaine in that box over the Thames, right? And it's going to be weird doing my jokes when I'm at eye level with a passing pigeon. It's the pigeon like that one. And I'm going to spend the first 10 minutes, Gemma, pointing out which people are receding. That's the bloke at the back, mate, you're going. And maybe I could, like, when I've done it, Gemma, maybe I can bring that cherry picker home, go up our telegraph pole, and finally sort out our bloody broadband. That would be a trick, wouldn't it?
God.
Do you know it'd be awful, though, Gemma? If I died on my arse, and rather than waiting till the end of my set, Gem, they just slowly lowered me down. And all you could hear is, Jem, you could hear the hydraulics and just a... Be awful, wouldn't it? I'm doing a gig in a cul-de-sac. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. People are going to sit at the end of their driveways, Jem. I'm going to be in the middle, right? And they're going to be sat there in deck chairs because I'll be going like, good evening, number 23. Nice edges, number 48. And then, is that a new BMW, number 14? Someone's clearly been working while they've been furloughed, haven't they? I know your game. And the thing is, though, the weird thing is, for an encore, Jem, I'll have to take the bins out. I'll be like an overconfident milkman, right? And they're doing driving gigs. So it's like driving movies. So what you do is you go and sit in a car park, they tune in, and they can hear you on the stage, and they sit in the cars. Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to deal with getting heckled by the beep of a Nissan Micra. And you just know that, Jem, halfway through your set, someone's going to play the best of Celine Dion at full volume. You know, they won't applaud; they'll just hit the hazards for a bit. And I bet, do you know what? I'm going to get them all going though, Jem, with a sing along. Yeah. Do you know what I'm going to get them to do?
Go on.
Move the wipers like arms in an audience. It'd be like Live Aid with Queen, wouldn't it? And do you know what? I don't know what the toilet situation is, though, Gemma. I think it could be the first time any of us has seen someone trying to take a dump in a boot. And just, Peter, will you stop straining? I can't hear the comedian. Do you know the other thing is, theatres can open, but not for live performances.
Oh.
Now I don't understand that because that's
Oh.
confusing. How does that work? You're going to be the first in the queue for the ice creams at the interval, granted. But I mean, what use is a theatre? You're just going to get people, Gemma, doing endless sound checks, just going testing, testing. Good evening, can you hear me? Yeah, brilliant. See you in a year, mate. Nice. It's like opening a football ground, but not letting the groundsman in. That's what that is. So we're going to go, Gemma.
Yeah.
After that little interlude, we're going to go to the question of the week. Let's have
Question
the
week.
little theme tune, my darling,
question of the
please.
week.
Let's have the question of the week.
Oh, hang on.
Let's do it, babe.
Oh.
It's the question of the week is
Oh,
how
that's-
bad is your vat?
That's getting harder.
It is, isn't
Right,
it?
are we
But
ready?
careful.
Are
Then.
we ready,
I could have said
everybody?
something there, but I didn't. Let's go. Question of the week. Play the theme tune, baby.
Quack, 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 question of the week.
Ooh. So the question of the week was legacy.
Yeah.
What have we inherited from our parents, right?
Legacy.
Now, this is the reason why I came up with this is because I had to write a will recently, Gemma.
Yeah.
Now, we've all done that, I'm sure. Oh, well, we're at a certain age, we've got children, and
Yes.
what a jolly day that was.
Yeah.
They had a wipeout.
right.
Do you know she had a wipeout clause? Do you remember that, Gemma?
Oh,
She says, right now,
God.
Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, imagine this. Right, imagine this. You're driving along the motorway. It's going to be quite difficult for you. You're driving along the motorway. Your children are in the back. And maybe something rolls underneath the foot pedal of your car. It happens. Maybe it's a child's water bottle, for example. And you're driving along, and then you can't brake, and you swerve into oncoming traffic and die! All the lot of you. Wiped out, all the lot of you. Who does your money go to?
Oh.
And then she said to me, she says, after all that, she went, is there any history of depression in the family? I said, yes. She was like, when did it start? About 5 minutes ago, darling. When you wiped out my entire
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
And here's the interesting thing, though. There's been a story in the papers this week, Gemma.
Oh, yeah.
Children, it's a Catholic school, St. Paul's Catholic School.
Nice clipboard.
Yeah, thank you. They have been asked to plan their own funeral.
What?
Year 8 children. So what's that? How old are they?
13?
13. So they're asked to plan their own
12.
funeral. They were given an activity sheet. They had to pick the music, what style of coffin.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that is a humdinger of a lesson.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
sure the parents were thrilled.
well, they weren't. That's the point, right? And I'm sure that children, like, they should be aware of death, but getting them to measure themselves up for a coffin and ring a florist for a quote is probably taking a bit too far. I bet the teachers looked at those kids, though, and thought, look at them all with their energy and their happiness. I've got a lesson that'll take these shits down a peg or two. It's all going to end, you're going to die. Right. I feel sorry for that one kid, Jem.
Go on.
He went to the science lab and cremated himself with a Bunsen burner. And do you imagine that? What's your homework assignment? Next week, who are you going to haunt? That's what you're going to do. So, Gemma, I thought I'd ask you some of these questions quickly.
Oh, go on then.
What is your favourite music and hymn for a funeral? What would you pick?
Oh, God. Does it have to be a hymn?
No, you could pick Who Let the Dogs Out by the Barman or something. Imagine that as a hey, yippee-ki-yay,
Yeah, like a bat out of hell.
like a bat out of hell. Let's do it.
Oh,
What
yeah.
style of coffin, love?
Oh, it
This
has
is, I'm just writing this down.
Wicker.
A wicker? A wicker coffin?
Wicker Man. It would be like the Wicker
Well,
Man.
you can have a wicker coffin. Do you know what? Rattan coffin.
That's
That's
what
for
I
you.
meant, rattan.
Rattan with a lovely little foot still
Yeah,
going in
and a
afterwards for
glass
your
top.
ashes and a glass top. Why not? What colour clothing would you like people to wear?
Now my mum's a bit funny about this.
Right.
She doesn't like colours.
Let's rephrase that. Jesus Christ, Emma. Week 15 and we've blundered into a nightmare. She doesn't like bright clothes at a funeral, is
That's
what
what
you
I
meant.
meant.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ. I know
God.
what you meant. It's just I'm being stupid. So, what colour... Right, go on, Gemma. What
Yeah.
colour clothing would you like people to
I
wear?
think I'd like everybody to wear purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Purple clothes, very nice.
Yeah.
How would you like? Who would you like to be there?
Well, just everybody. It's definitely the Shedshodians, obviously.
The Shedshodians. You're going to all be there to watch Gemma descend into hell. And what flowers would you like?
Oh, it'd have to be a tulip.
Tulips.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I was going to put a sprig of parsley in there as well for you. Few herbs. Why not? What type of celebration would you like?
Oh, a barbecue.
A barbecue. Well, if you're being cremated, why not?
Well, we
Why
have
not
one for his
sticking
wedding.
it?
Why not have one for
Why
your
not
funeral?
sticking an extra chop on top of that? Why not? Where would you like your body buried? Your ashes scattered
In a forest.
in a forest? Any particular forest?
Sherwood.
Sherwood. I'd have said Centre Parks near the slide.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! That's Gemma's funeral, everyone.
Hey.
What a lovely, happy feature.
God, let's keep it light, love.
So what I'm going to do, Gemma, I'm going to
Yes.
quickly go through some of these. Right, I've things I've inherited from my parents.
Yes.
I'm going to quickly do some of these.
Yes.
I think I've inherited an aversion to being late.
Yes!
Because my mum and dad are always bloody late, aren't they? Literally everywhere they go now, they are
God.
so late. And this is the thing, I knew as a kid, right? As a kid, I used to go swimming and I was left outside the swimming baths for hours and hours. I was on first name terms with all the sex offenders. I was like, no, listen, mate, my dad will be here, put it away. It'll be here. And I used to see my dad coming, Jem.
Yeah.
This was like, he'd finished at 7:15. He'd rock up about 8, and I'd see him come in his Vauxhall Countlin. I used to recognise the lights, and he'd come, and I could see him there, just perched up, Gemma, not a care in the world, singing along to Meatloaf, as if nothing. He'd swing it, and then he'd open the door, and I'd go, "Where have you been?" And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Finished at 7:15." What? No. I thought you said 8. And I saw it at the other end when my brother was young, because my brother used to go swimming. Same thing, Gemma.
Yeah.
And I used to say, "Dad, you should really go and get him." "Yeah, I'll go and get him." And he'd go out, Gemma. He'd go out. 15 minutes later, do you know what he's doing?
Go on.
Mowing the lawn. I'd be like, I'll go and get him. I'd be like, "Go and get him, Dad. What are you doing?" Right? It's the thing is, the other one is,
Go on.
I portion control.
Oh,
Now, this is the interesting one because
God.
my mum has got no concept of portion control. Absolutely none. None
Are you
whatsoever.
mentioning potatoes?
Potatoes. She can't get it right. She can't regulate the potatoes. Literally, sometimes she'll go round to your house and she'll go, "Do you think that's enough?" I was like, "When? For?" Until the day I die, yes. And then she'll go, "You're right, it's not. Right, get another bag. Right, get another bag." Do you know what though? I do love though is I sort of love their approach to Christmas.
Yes.
They are Mr. and Mrs. Christmas, man, and that's
are.
something I've taken on board because
Yeah.
what it is, they are. It's always special because they start shopping in June for once.
Well, they've struggled with lockdown.
But they have struggled with lockdown. We're almost trying to do it
Max
all
feels
online.
behind.
She's not doing it right. But what I mean is, like, my mum and dad, this is how good it was. My dad used to pretend to be Santa.
Oh.
Not like, around the neighbourhood, just at home. Like, so what would happen? I'd be about 5 years old, and he'd always do, and I remember every year he'd dress as him, and he'd always have the same ruse. My mum would go, "Roy, we've run out of potatoes," or something like that. "We've only got 17 trays left." And then my dad would go, "All right, love, I'll go and get them." And he'd disappear. And then about 10 minutes later, my mum would go, "Hey, kids, there's someone in the garden." And she'd switch the outside light on. And my dad would be sat there at the bottom of the garden, under the veranda, Jen. And I remember one year the snow was falling and all my mates were like 5, 6 going, "It's Santa, it's Santa." And they went up, they all told him what they wanted for Christmas. And do you know what? The magic was ruined at one point, Gemma. Because I sat on Santa's knee and I looked down and Santa was wearing my father's knackered old Reeboks that he paints in. And because he'd left his wellies at the fire station where he worked. And I said to him, "Dad, I can see that." And he'd go, "Oh." And he said, "Just tell Santa, what would you like for Christmas, you little boy?" And I was like, "Some bloody honesty. What's going on here, mate?" And he was like, "Don't tell him, don't spoil the magic." And anyway, Gemma, they came back in the house, and do you know what my dad would do then?
Go on.
He'd go round, and then he'd come in the front door and go, "Hello, everyone, what have I missed?" And my mum would go, "You've missed Santa again." "Oh, I miss him every year, Margaret." Incredible. Do you know the other one though? Is my mum. Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? But she's just she's not very positive. To her, she's not. An optimist to her is someone who checks whether you need glasses, and those glasses are definitely half empty. She's not. Listen, she's she is, but she's afraid of certain things.
Yeah.
She won't drive on the motorway.
No.
Right? She's not a fan of the right turn. She's afraid of the remote control, and she's confused by hummus. The list is endless, right? And she said to me once, I must have been 20 years old, and I said, I want to go travelling. And my dad was like, I went into the kitchen. I said, "I want to go travelling." My mum was like, "Oh no, travelling. Oh dear. What are you going to do if you get murdered?" "Well, nothing. I'll be murdered, mate, won't I?" And my dad, he says, "Why do you want to go travelling? Why do you want to go travelling? I've just got Sky Digital. Why do you want to go travelling?" My mum, genuine, I haven't told you this story before, and I'll tell you this before we move to our next feature, right? My mum had a stalker. right?
Oh,
When she was a mobile hairdresser,
Yes.
right? Someone was leaving messages behind the windscreen wipers, right?
Yes.
Stuff like "Hello, beautiful," and "I've been watching you," weird, creepy shit,
Oh.
and stuff like "You can't park here." That wasn't him. But I mean, this is 2006, man. Send a dick pic, mate. What's wrong with you? Anyway, so I just can't believe I just said that.
I can't.
It's a horrible image, that, isn't it? So she got the old army of old dears in this quadrangle, and they were all looking through the windows, Jem.
Yeah.
And they were all like, we'll watch you for you, Margaret. Well, look, Etty was like, if he comes here, I'm going to run over his feet in my mobility scooter. I'll run over him, I'll take him down the bingo, the shit. And, right, and so he was like this weirdo who confronted her, Jem, and he says,
God.
my mum says, oh, I'm married, and he was like, well, every marriage needs a bit of excitement. And my mum was like, I'll have you know, I'm married to Roy Bennett. He has a ukulele and a pressure washer. That's as good as it gets. And the thing is, you know what my mum decided to do?
Go on.
She put my dad's fire brigade cap
Yes.
on the back parcel shelf.
Well
Because she
done,
said,
Max.
now, to the unsuspecting eye, Scott, that looks like a policeman. Yeah, but there's no policeman attached to it. That was just going round on her back parcel shelf. Do you know what it looked like?
Go on.
An off-duty stripper. If she'd have left some handcuffs, some furry handcuffs there or
God,
something.
I've never
Right.
thought of that before.
This is the thing, right, Gemma? We've got some viewers' ones here.
Yeah.
Some viewers' traditions. Right, we've got Nicola Lee. She says this one you can't do after COVID. This is
Oh,
true. This is
yeah.
her tradition. You spat on a tissue and then wiped a kid's face. That was a
Yes.
classic, isn't it? Come here.
Yeah, those
Come
days
here.
are over.
Your face is dirty. Let me add some DNA onto that for you. You can't do that anymore, right?
right.
The other one is I remember being towel dried my
Yeah.
hair as a kid. Now,
Oh,
our-
yeah,
our-
really rough.
you don't do towel drying anymore. I used to know how annoying my dad was
Yeah, by
with
how
me
rough.
by how rough that towel dry was. If he got hold of it like that,
Yeah,
like he was
really.
like buffing, do you know what I mean? If I came out of
That
it,
was like the old days stress toy.
like that,
Yeah.
if I came out of it looking like a monk, he'd had a bad day. Just the friction, the heat, and like the other one is we've got Matt Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Shaw, this is a classic. This one I've got Matt Shaw here. He said that they tried to blame when they farted. They tried to blame it on the mum, right? So he said, like, she used to shout, "Oh, mum, you could have waited," and she'd say something like, "Foxes only smell their own holes." I love that. Do you know what, Mags? She's never broken wind in our house.
Oh, God, well done, Max.
Well, allegedly. Now,
Allegedly,
what
right.
she used to do is she used to blame it on the fridge.
Oh, the
Because she used to say, it's not me, that, it's the veg in the fridge. It's the veg in the fridge, that. And it did mean that every time she had a moment, she had to go to the fridge. Which, like, if you're at dinner parties, my mum would just be hanging round there, the Electrolux like that,
God.
just waiting.
Did your dad take it for her? Claim one?
Never claimed it, no. He used to go,
Oh.
Margaret, you stink. And that was
Yeah, you got one
Um,
up on your dad there.
Here's another one here. The other thing he heard was about men and multitasking. This is Matt
Yeah.
Shaw again. He said he can. One woman said, "Oh, he can definitely multitask. My husband. He can breathe and piss me off all at the same time," which is wonderful.
That's hilarious.
We've got here big fans of the show. Rachel Mary. We've got
Yes.
Rachel Mary. We have Rachel Mary, and she said, "Oh, this is wonderful." Her mum would say, when they told a lie, they would
Yeah.
say, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave." When we first practiced to deceive. Rachel, your mum sounds like some sort of clairvoyant. I don't know what that is, but they are our questions and answers from the week, Gemma. Fantastic, excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the regular viewers of the show, thank you all for sticking with us. The regular viewers of the show will remember that a couple of weeks ago, it's probably, I'm ready for one now, I had a lockdown haircut from a very special guest. And I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight to see us again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the shed. It's the wonderful Tony, the lockdown hairdresser. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? How you doing, Scotty?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty warm in here, Tony.
It's this is ridiculous. I can't believe it. Need your haircut again?
I
What
know,
you doing?
I'm a disgrace. You know what's amazing,
You're a
Tony?
disgrace.
Your wig makes you look like you're wearing tights from Fame or the Rocky Horror
What
Show.
are you talking about?
So it's not a wig,
This
is it?
a
I've
natural
insulted you
hair.
there. I've
and
insulted
as you
you
know,
there,
my
Tony.
hair doesn't grow.
I'm so sorry, Tony.
That's no problem.
Now, it's great to see you
It's
again.
great to see you, and it's great to see the people at home again.
Well, they were big fans of you last time. You're back
That's
by
great.
Popular Mando. And I want to ask you, Tony, are you busy at the moment?
I am absolutely run off my feet.
Great.
I can't believe it. There's so many bad haircuts out
Well,
there.
we've talked about it earlier, Tony.
It's disgraceful. Everybody, you got to get your hair cut.
And if they'd have ignored the 2 meters,
The 2 meters rule, that was a load of nonsense.
they'd have been looking smart,
They've
wouldn't they?
been looking smart and looking good.
We're talking about legacy tonight, Tony. Have you got any traditions or how you got the family business? What happened with that?
I had to
Keep it together, Tony.
I
It's so
have to
hot, your
say-
tash will come off.
Yeah, well, my father always said to me, because my father, he was a hairdresser.
Yes.
And his father was a hairdresser.
Yes.
And his father was a hairdresser.
Right.
And his father was a mechanic. And he always said, look after your hair like you look after your car.
Wow. In what respect?
Cover it in oil every single day.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure that the RAC would recommend that advice, but that sounds pretty good, Tony. Keep it together. We're on live TV. Tony, and I've heard you don't use a shaver. Is that right?
I don't. I never use a shaver.
Why?
I don't agree with them.
Right.
Apart from when I cut your hair.
Ooh, welcome. Well, obviously they saw the video, but I mean,
The problem was that I needed to show that I'm moving with the times.
yeah.
Okay?
And I've got quite thick hair as well.
Your hair is ridiculous.
Okay.
I've
Sorry,
never
Tony.
seen such terrible thick hair in all my life.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
so where are you? These are famous scissors, aren't
These-
they? The
these
Tony lockdown scissors.
These scissors have been in my family for 300 years.
My God, 300 years. What are they made of?
These scissors belonged to my father's father's mechanic.
Wow.
And he
Keep it together, Tony. We're doing okay.
he used to clip toenails with them.
Really?
But I decided to use them on the hair.
Oh,
And it's better on the hair.
well, yeah.
And they've been toughened up because of the toenails.
Oh, like a cutting stone.
Exactly.
I see. Well, that's
Exactly.
excellent, Tony.
Yeah.
And now, before you go, Tony, people have been asking, do you do women's hair?
I only cut my wife's hair.
Okay, why
I
is that?
won't touch any other women's hair because they fall in love with me.
Well, I can see that.
I can't
I
help
can
it.
see
I
that.
must be giving off the pheromones and the pheromones.
Well, you're giving off something in
And-
here, Tony. I think we both are.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Anyway, sort your hair out. Call me. I'll cut your hair.
I will.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you,
Take care.
Tony.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tony in the lockdown hairdresser, everybody. Tony the lockdown hairdresser. Wonderful, wonderful. Gemma's missed him again. I can't believe you've missed him again, Gemma. Can you believe him, Gemma? You've missed Tony again, darling. Well, that was fantastic. It was Tony the lockdown hairdresser, sweetheart.
Oh.
And you're back in just in time, darling, to have the wall of positivity. You're back for the final thing. We've had 95 people have stuck with us, Jen. Thank you so much, guys. That was, Tony's on his way now. I don't know where he's going. Are you all right, darling? You seem to be struggling down there.
Oh.
Right, Gemma, you might need.
Yes.
Because now, what it
Right.
is, we've got the wall of positivity. Have we got a tune for that?
No.
Okay. I love how honest you are there. Right, okay. So, someone said here that you're missing out we need some of the shout outs after, darling.
Oh, yes.
And some people have been answering in
Yes,
sort
of
of some of
course.
the
Sorry.
questions. No, I'm not reprimanding you. I think we should go over this in a meeting, Stat. What we're going to do, the wall of positivity. Obviously, we've got beer being available again at
Yeah.
some point, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
We've got the first person here, a very good friend of the show. It's Nick Mellors, Gemma.
Yay!
Now, his wonderful partner Jane and I haven't seen each other since the end of February because of lockdown. So we've been using your show as a weekly date night.
Aw.
Can I say, Nick, on behalf of myself and Gemma, I apologise. Because how do you have this as a date? Me bellowing into this webcam. Right, and so Thursday the 25th
Today?
is her birthday.
Today?
Yes, and also next week, Harrison was due to his final Year 6 activity before they leave for secondary school, and at the weekend, Jane and Harrison are coming to camp in the garden at my house. So we can get to see each other, and he can do a camp and outdoor activities with his stepsister.
That's so
He said, I
nice.
won't obviously be camping, as that would breach social distancing rules, and it also means that Nick can get a proper night's sleep in a lovely bed.
Oh,
You absolute
very
copper.
sensible.
Get in there with that mattress that's the same shape as a potato waffle. And man up, mate, get in there and be a man and go and fish in the water butt. Go and show yourself some survival skills, my friend. Right, okay. Let's do a happy birthday, Gemma, to Nick. Now, this is incredible. We've got a moment here now. I don't know how this is going to go.
Oh, God.
This is...
I'm coming up
Come
again.
on, come on, Gemma. Let's get some room in here, darling. Come on, it's a struggle tonight, isn't it?
God,
She's here. She's got a clarinet.
Clarinet, yes.
Yeah, so she's got the clarinet. So are you going to do happy birthday,
I'm going to
Gemma?
try.
Let's see what
Can
this
I
is.
just remind people, I've not played the clarinet since I was 14.
So that's why you want to do it on a live webcam to 100 people. Let's do it then.
And there's a chance I could pass out because of the heat.
Well,
But
let's
we'll
go.
try.
Let's try it. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Let's just try again.
Happy birthday, Nick. I hope this isn't too painful for you.
Hang on.
Come on, we can do
One more.
this. Jesus. I mean, I've got a hairbrush and it sounds better. Come on, Gemma, focus. Adjust your reed. We can't just be squeaking. You could do this earlier. Oh, dear. Does it help if you've got a beat?
I can't stop laughing.
I'm going to fill the silence because that's another thing my mum does. She keeps talking.
I can't do it if I can't breathe.
Come on, Gemma, come on. Happy birthday. Gemma, this is a bloody disaster. Switch to the keyboard. Come on.
Sorry.
It's so close. So close. So close. I think that's the best you're going to get. That was one verse. Give it a bigger applause.
I'll practice more.
That sounded like someone.
It's the heat.
Someone.
It's the heat.
It sounded like someone treading on a foot pump. Now it sounds like someone treading on the swan's neck. Oh, come on. Happy birthday. Yes, we got there. It took 28 minutes.
Oh, God.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nick. I hope that was
Not Nick, it's his wife.
his wife. Oh, God.
Is it his wife? I'm getting all confused.
Oh, well. Wonderful, Nick. Happy birthday, Nick. It's Nick's partner there. Thank you. Before we go, we've got this, another one as well. We've got Chris and...
Chris and Alex, they got engaged recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris and Alex, congratulations, guys. And I just want to say, Gemma, before we ring my mum and dad, I think
Yes.
I've just got a couple of minutes, darling.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing...
It's Jane. Jane, happy birthday. I'm sorry.
Happy birthday,
Yes.
Jane. I hope you enjoyed that incredible bit of clarinet. I mean, that was like a proper recital, wasn't it? It was a beautiful moment. Gemma, can I just say this before we ring my mum and dad?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I want to reflect legacy as well to finish the show. I thought this would be a nice way of finishing the show, Gemma.
Yeah.
The lockdown's been an interesting legacy,
Yeah.
I think. It's been an interesting social experiment. I think we've all drank too much, Gem. Would you agree?
Yeah.
We would agree. The term wine o'clock now is pretty much redundant. I think if you're swilling down your Weetabix, Gem,
Yeah.
with a glass of Prosecco, I think time is irrelevant. Have we had any shout-outs, babe, by the way, before we move on?
We have.
Go on.
We had a funny one from Lynn. Lynn Hill, is it?
Yes,
Hill.
Lynn Hill.
She was saying that her husband wants to be scattered on a beach, but she says she's going to flush him down the toilet and he'll get there eventually.
Incredible, Lynn. Don't even wait for him to die first. He wants to be scattered on a beach.
Oh, God.
Any more on the funeral thing's got people, hasn't it?
That really made me laugh, that did. Oh, dear me.
Oh, brilliant. Right. The other thing is, Gemma,
Yes.
back to the lockdown
Sorry,
legacy.
yes.
Yeah, COVID fashion. I've realised if you can look good in a face mask, Gem,
Yes.
some people look cool. But if you've got a beard,
Yeah.
I don't think you look pretty good. I think you look like you're wearing some bikini bottoms from the 70s on your face with the whole bush thing. And here's the interesting one as well. We've learned new terminology, Gemma, haven't
yes.
we? Like so many furloughed. I never heard the word furloughed. That's a legacy that's been left. It sounds like a medical emergency involving some farming machinery. I've been furloughed on the testicles. Flattening the curve, Gem.
Yeah.
That's something I desperately need to do. Honestly, I think my blood group now, Gem, is basically banana bread. I think The obesity crisis, Jem, that's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone because we're only letting humans out once a day. Who would have thought that was the trick in getting people to exercise? And we were up at 9 doing lunges in front of the fireplace with Joe Wicks.
Yeah.
And then, we were like prisoners on death row out for the daily walk. It is the interesting one, though, Gemma. It is the interesting one. Poor old Joe Wicks. I noticed this. He's suffered the same way we all have with these shows. As numbers dwindled, he desperately tried to hold on to viewers, Jen.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got fancy dress out. He got his music playing. He did Spot the Difference. The only way he could have kept Brits' attention, Gemma,
Yeah.
if he'd have introduced exercisers using KFC bargain buckets as dumbbells. We'd have been on board for that. And finally, homeschooling. We've had very different lockdowns, some people, haven't they, love?
Yes, yes.
People without kids have appreciated the downtime, whereas those with kids have appreciated the teachers. I think we can say that. Homeschooling has been a challenge. This is the first year, Gemma,
Yeah.
parents at parents' evening, this is the first parents' evening where teachers will ask us how the kids have been doing. That is a weird flip round, isn't it? And Olivia will have a shock, mainly because her classroom hasn't got a fridge and a snack cupboard. That's the thing. Where can I have a snack? No, it's 7 minutes after. You've only been here 6 minutes. What are you doing? Here's the interesting bit. It's a self-reflection before we go to my mum and dad, Gemma.
Oh, this is
quite poignant,
meaningful,
right?
Yes.
I did a tour show and I couldn't do it. And this is where I'm going to be touring it in the new year. And it's called Relax, right?
Yes.
And it was all about how frenetic the world was. And how, because of the pressures of life, human beings have forgotten how to relax, right? Well, I clearly had a direct line to God himself because along came Corona and we've had 3 months of sitting on our asses in our jogging bottoms watching box sets. And in a recent survey, Jem, only 10% of Brits are looking forward to going back to their old lives.
Oh, God.
I know, and it seems like this pandemic, right, although terrifying and unprecedented, is nothing compared to the fear of normality. I mean, and that tells you one thing. We were living our lives wrong, man. Yeah. Working endless hours in jobs you could do from home, wasted commutes, sitting and listening to Sarah Cox. Nothing against Sarah Cox, but just sat there and listening to the radio, man, on the way home from work. And we missed meals, exercise time. We had no time. And we've been given time, and it freaked us out. We didn't know what to do. And the environment's better, the air's cleaner. Do you know how we can save the planet, Gemma? Stop humans living on it. That's the answer. And this is why we're confused, man, because we're so anxious. And we're less anxious now. That's the point I was making, right? But we've all lost money, granted, right? And some unfortunate people may have lost loved ones, right? But we've learnt a valuable lesson, I think.
Oh, yes.
We've lost sight of what's important, people, and now we need to start building a new normal.
Oh,
something that improves our quality of life. However, if that new normal involves Gemma playing the clarinet, frankly, I'd rather we didn't bother. There we go. That's my little moment there, and sum up.
Thanks a lot.
So, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing to do, and the one thing that we have missed, and the one legacy of this is my mum and dad, Roy and Mags, being in this show and being legends. So please, Gemma, let's get them on the phone now to play us out this evening. What a wonderful audience as usual, Gemma. Roy and Mags, they are the best, the Shedstons. Let's get them on the phone, Gemma. Are you doing? It's Gemma's new phone here. Let's do this. Let's do this new phone that Gemma's got. Oh, we're on.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Something's happening.
We're having.
Oh, come on, Mags.
Hello.
Hello, Margaret.
Oh, I'll put you on to your dad.
Of course you do. That's what you always do. Good evening.
Hello there.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Evening.
Oh, well, lovely. You all right, Dad? Can you get near the phone? It sounds like you're talking to us on the toilet.
Really? Well, that's what I am.
Oh. How you doing? How you doing? We've had a show about legacy and you being late and all that, but you were on time tonight.
Hey!
Always on time. We've nowhere to go.
Well, of course, Dad. But it's lovely. Are you okay? Have you had a good day?
We've had a lovely day.
How have you managed with the heat?
Yeah, all right. Yes, I've been sat in the bath most of the day.
Excellent.
Pouring buckets of ice water over me.
Like a Rocky. You like Rocky? You like Rocky, Dad?
Yeah, I have actually been rubbing gravel into my hair.
Oh, incredible. Have you got Mum?
Tony.
Go on, say again. Go on.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
What are you singing for us?
we keep having this weird. This feels like we're doing a Zoom quiz. This. No, you first, Dad. What are you going to sing us out with tonight?
Well, can I just say something first?
Of course you
yes,
can.
please.
I'd like to wish a very good friend of mine, Paul and Hazel.
Yes.
It's their anniversary today.
Oh!
Happy anniversary, Paul.
Paul and
Do you know what I
Hazel.
love, Dad? Is that you now using my show as a conduit for your messages.
Everybody else is. Aren't they?
It feels like a public service announcement
It's
now.
lovely. Hello,
Wonderful.
Paul and Hazel.
Hello, Paul. Is it right, Dad? Are you gonna play us out?
And can I just say, a legacy from my dad.
Oh,
Go on.
go on.
He was a big church goer,
Yeah.
and he used to say, "Do unto others as you would have done unto you.
Of course.
Only do it first."
Oh, we do it first. I like that sting in the tail. Excellent advice, Dad. And on that, are you ready? What are you going to play us?
Get the instrument together.
Okay. Ooh. Let's do it.
Can you hear us now?
We can hear
you.
you.
Beautiful.
Loud and clear now.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Hi. Well, this song is because of how it's been lovely weather.
Yes.
So, and because Gemma made a bit of a cock up with flute, we're not too bothered now.
Clarinet. Dad, it's a low bar. It's a low bar.
Yeah. So we're going to play Bring Me Sunshine.
Oh, lovely. Let's do it.
Okay? 1, 2, 3. Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each sun you bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any fear. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Bring me sunshine in your eyes. Bring me rainbows from the sky. Life's too short to be spent having anything but fun. We can be so content if we gather a little something. Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each sun you bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any fear. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love, bring me love, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Woo-hoo.
Mum and Dad, Roy and Mags.
Roy and Mags. Well done.
Absolutely incredible,
Fantastic.
guys. That was a banger again. Do you know what? Do you know what you showed, Gemma, with that clarinet? That's what rehearsing does for you. Slick, my friends.
Oh, Gemma, you're lovely. Don't you listen?
Oh, she was good, wasn't it? It was lots of squeaking and then a couple of
I've
notes.
just got to refine my read action, that's all.
Read. It's all about the read
I
action.
only got it delivered this afternoon. Coming
I mean, there's more reads than a Kindle. I don't know why she just didn't buy one of them. Right, Mum and Dad, thank you so much for listening. We will see you soon. Not long now, I hope. You stay safe. We love you loads, and thank you for being involved. Good night. Say bye. Say bye.
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 Love you. Bye.
Oh.
Oh,
And-
so good, so good.
Yeah, do you know what's amazing, Gemma?
Go
Paul
on.
McCready has said here from
Yeah.
Manky Beds, he says that was amazingly tragic. He said, oh no, that needs to be quiet.
Oh, sorry.
You've cut me off there.
Sorry.
Paul McCready, he said it was amazing, right, that they had a birthday message that Nick wrote in, and all that build up, and then that. She did well. She did credible. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a bit more volume now. Let's have that basic. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the Shed Show for this week. We have had over a couple of hundred people, Gemma. Incredible. As always, we're always here. Show number 15. And we're going to be here as long as you want us to. So, thank you to Gemma as always. Thank you to everyone that writes in. We can't do it without you. I'm genuinely really appreciate it. Thank you to sharing the stream, sharing the videos, keep supporting the show. And you never know, we might take it on tour, might we? One note of the clarinet to celebrate that. So we'll see you. Stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather. And I will see you next week. We'll both see you next week here in the shed. Good night. God bless.